Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. What's new and good today? How are you guys doing? I hope continue to do your journaling. I hope you are writing three things down that you're grateful for. I hope that you're sitting with yourself and you're sorting through those thoughts because every day we are processing so many thoughts, and some of them are not really nice thoughts at all. But sometimes we just need to pause and just process these thoughts. We need to write them down because we can reflect on it and we can able to tell ourselves, you know what, this is not a part of me. And then you can start to correct the course. Only we can do it. Only you can do it. And we all have the ability that we can sit with ourselves and harness that strength and go through those thoughts that is troubling our lives. But many times you find that there are so many things going on in our lives. Let's say, for instance, our topic this evening is menopause and nutrition. And because of menopause, many times we can't even sit with ourselves. We are depressed, we are stressed, anxiety, we may have weight gain. We're trying to get a weight off and we don't even understand why we really gaining the weight, you know. But we got to educate ourselves, because when we educate ourselves on this topic, we are able to understand ourselves more in depth. So when this time comes around for us, we can able to have the right tools at hand to address ourselves during this period of time. Because we all will go through that period. But we need the right tools to go through this period. So we can able to recognize the symptoms. And once we're able to recognize the symptoms of menopause, we can able to start to address it. Because some of the symptoms is hot flashes, mood swings, you feel fatigue, sleep disturbances. And then you're asking yourself, why is this happening to me? It's strange. But when you educate yourself, you can really understand what's happening to you at that point in time. And to the men, be a support system for your partner. Your partner needs that support system from you. Offer practical support. You know, like, for instance, like household chores. Because sometimes your partner wake up today and they're feeling fatigued, they feel stressed, they feel anxiety stepping, you know. A partner could step up, you know what? Hun, I'm going to help you today. You take a rest, you know. And express love and affection for your partner in this time of menopause. Because this is the time that they need you as a partner to support them, to rally around them, and to help them through this period that they're going through. Offer compliments. Leave some nice love notes. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Let them know how you cherish them. All these things help an individual when they're going through this period of menopause. And if we can step up to the plate and to help that individual through this period, it's a plus. So this evening, we got such a beautiful guest here, Lisa. She's all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. And she's going to really help us to understand menopause and nutrition, because this subject, many times it's very complex to a lot of people. She will help us to understand the different stages of menopause and how we can help ourselves with the tips that she's going to give us this evening, that we can help ourselves when that time reach, or if we know of someone who is going through this transition period, we can lend a helping hand with a little bit of tips. And you could say, you know what, I've learned this from Soul Light and Body from Lisa. She shared these tips, and you know what, why not try it, or ask your doctor if you can try these tips. So we all are in this together. Don't feel shy. Find a group that you can sit and you can discuss this topic with. So you're able to educate yourself more on this subject area. So as you move along through life, you can understand yourself better. When you start to feel the way how you feel, you can understand yourself so much better. Because a lot of times things are happening to us, but we really don't understand exactly what's happening. So when you educate yourself, as I said before, you're able to understand yourself more in depth. When this time arises in your life, you're able to understand yourself more. So this evening, just sit back, just relax, get a notepad, a pen, and if you know someone who can benefit from this topic tonight, menopause and nutrition, please share this link to them so they could join us. And don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body, that you will never miss none of these episodes. Every week, we got some fabulous topics we're going to be bringing to help you, the audience. It's all about you, to help you that you can help yourself. Or if you know of anyone who could use the tips, pass it along to them. Lisa, welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. So I'm so happy to be here again. So Sunday's episode was really like a part one to this discussion. So I want to encourage everyone to subscribe and go back and take a look at part one, because we really dived into
Mm-hmm.
the individual symptoms, explanation of menopause. But I just want to touch on something that you said in your intro when you were talking about how the partner can help a woman during menopause. And I thought that
Yes.
was a really interesting place to start, because this part two is really about your mental health during menopause. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I thought it was fitting that we kind of dive more into that mental health aspect. And but you talked about how can the partner help, and I think it starts with communication. It
Yes.
always starts with good communication, and that's from both parties. So both parties has to be willing and able to sit and listen to each other without judgment.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times men, they're very solution oriented. So see problem, fix problem. And a lot of times women just need a listening ear. So it helps if the partner can ask, how can I help you today? It may be that she needs help with chores. It may be she needs a back rub, a neck rub, because during menopause, you get a lot of muscular pain, a lot of joint pain. Maybe she's having food cravings and she wants something nice to eat. Or maybe she just wants you to sit and listen to her vent about what she's going through. And you may not have these solutions, but it's always nice when your partner just sits and listens to you and lets you say whatever you want to say, and then can put, your arm around and say, listen, I don't understand everything that you're saying, but I'm here for you. Because
True.
we don't expect the man to understand menopause. I mean, hell, I don't understand everything with menopause, and I'm a menopause coach, right? Because the research is still coming out, it's still brand new for a lot of people. But just to say, I am here for you. that goes a long way.
Yes.
A lot of times I coach parties together, so not just the menopausal woman, but her husband, her children, and it's just to like sit and understand what she's going through. Why making a joke about it doesn't support her right now, because she feels less than. She
Mm.
doesn't feel like a good mother. She doesn't feel like a good partner. She
Yeah.
doesn't feel that intimacy that she had before. And it's not her fault. It's the hormones. It's a medical thing that's going on with her that she can't control. But just that understanding, I am telling you, that goes a long way. So I'm glad you started there with that that intro. It was really important.
Thank you.
And I know you didn't plan it, but I mean, it leads right into what we want to talk about. The universe, right?
You're absolutely right. So, Lisa, I just want you to pedal back a little bit first.
Mhm,
Someone who is now listening, it could be a young person, and they
mhm.
don't know what is menopause. Can you just give us a little surface here? What
Sure,
is
sure. That's not a
menopause?
problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have menopause, and let me start with what menopause is. You have to go 12 straight months without having a menstrual cycle. And that's defined as menopause. So once you've gone 12 straight months, we say that it's 12 months and 1 day. So we say that you're in menopause for 1 day, and then right after, for the rest of your life, you go into postmenopause. And you still can have symptoms during postmenopause. It's not like, your period is finished and, well, we're home free. No. You can still have those hot flashes. You can still have oh, thanks very much. You can still have a lot of those symptoms. Before the 12 months, you're in perimenopause. A lot of women are in perimenopause for years. I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years. Once you're still having your menstrual cycle, but you're having those symptoms, you're in perimenopause. And just to remind you, once you're having a menstrual cycle, you can still get pregnant. So, take whatever precautions you need to if you're not planning a pregnancy. We don't really test hormones during this stage. The hormones we're looking at really is estrogen and progesterone. Those are really what's controlling the show, especially estrogen. So it's a lot of hormonal fluctuations and it's decreasing at the same time. So the analogy I always give, which I think is the simplest one, is imagine that you're on a beach. And the further out from the beach shore that you are, that's in your 30s and your 40s. And as you come closer to the shore, you're aging. It's 40s, you're in your 50s, 60s. And by the time you reach the shore, you're in postmenopause, maybe in your 60s or 70s. So the further out from the shore that you are, the waves are bigger. You have very high waves and low troughs. It's very big waves. That's your perimenopausal stage. You have over 100 symptoms that you can experience during your menopausal journey. And Coach Kate talked about those hot flashes, those mood swings, those sleepless nights. Thanks a lot. But you can experience over 100 symptoms that don't seem related. So, toothache, uh, dry eyes, blurry vision, a lot of digestive issues. So, gas, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, malabsorption of nutrients, brittle nails, brittle hair dropping, um, anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. So, suicide is very high from the ages of 45 to 54 for a woman. And that coincides with your menopausal journey. So, a lot of women experience feeling to commit suicide or they actually take their lives.
Mhm.
Um, Osteoporosis, so bone loss. You also have muscle loss. So it's important for that physical activity part of it. Tingling extremities. Sometimes you feel electric shocks. You can feel like ants is crawling under your skin. Dry skin. Um, some people get acne. So a lot of the things that you may have experienced during your menstrual cycle phase, which is called your premenopause. Pre means before. So a lot of things that you may have experienced during that time, you experience in menopause in a bigger way. So if I had a lot of food cravings or a lot of gas or diarrhea, expect that in menopause.
Mm-hmm.
If you had children and you got postpartum depression, expect that in menopause as well. That depression cycles can come back and come back in a larger way. A lot of women get diagnosed with ADHD and they may not have had any sort of symptom like that before. A lot of women during menopause get diagnosed with ADHD, so that's a concern as well. Also, of biggest concern, once you enter into menopause, your risk for heart disease goes up, and it goes up higher than a man's risk. So risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol issues goes up during menopause, and definitely heart disease goes up during menopause. So that's why nutrition is of such a concern, because we don't want to get heart disease. So this is the natural progression of menopause. You can also enter into menopause if you're getting breast cancer treatments. So most women, once they start chemo and radiation, which is important depending on the type of cancer and the stage that you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at stage 4 cancer, you can't just talk about diet. You have to get treatments. But once you start those treatments, most women enter into menopause. So you can be in your 20s having breast cancer treatments and you enter into menopause right away. Also, if you've had a full hysterectomy, once you've had that surgery, you enter into menopause immediately because you don't have those the estrogen and the hormones again. So immediately you're entered into surgical menopause. So a lot of these symptoms, and this is where the medical community fails us sometimes, but I also don't blame the doctors, I blame the system because they're not trained in menopause. There's no course called menopause in medical school. Also, they do a semester of nutrition, introduction to nutrition. It really is supposed to be a team working with a patient, doctor, and dietitian to give them the best care. So a lot of times women, they have endometriosis or maybe bad fibroids, and they get told, okay, let's have a hysterectomy to cure that condition. And they're thrown right into menopause and nobody tells them that. So they start experiencing these weird symptoms and getting really, really bad hot flashes, and they don't know why. And it's because of the surgery. Did I explain it, Claire?
Oh my goodness, you explain it really, really well, Lisa, because you help someone to understand that if when you go to the doctor, you need to have questions to ask that
Yeah.
doctor. Because you just explained if you have a hysterectomy, you go straight into menopause,
Yep.
right?
One time.
So a doctor, you sit in front of a doctor and the doctor is saying, you know what, well, you have to get a hysterectomy, and you have no clue
Yeah.
because it's not being said to you. You have absolutely no clue what is
Yeah.
going to happen after that hysterectomy.
And it's
So,
something you have to prepare for. That is
right,
the surgery on its own is traumatic because it means you're taking away my choice to have children. And you may not have wanted to have children, but having that surgery does something to you. You're taking away a woman's choice, and it may be necessary. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying not to have the surgery. But a lot of times we just give the medical side of it and not the mental health side of it. To prepare for the surgery, knowing that you have to have a different diet once you have had that surgery for your body to do that repair that's necessary. And then, oh, by the way, you're going into menopause. Get prepared for that too. We don't have that conversation, and a lot of women struggle to the point where they want to kill themselves. And
yes.
that is the part that this is why I do what I do, because we need to talk about it. Women need to know this information.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing that you're able to educate a
Yeah.
woman. So if that time do come around in her life that is being presented to her,
Yeah.
she is already educated and
Mhm.
she can able to ask questions to the
Yeah.
doctor exactly how am I going to go around this? What is going to happen after,
Yeah.
And as you rightfully said before, is that a lot of women are not educated
Yeah.
about what happens with us as women, and because of that, you find suicide thoughts come into play,
Yeah.
right? Mental health get breakdown, but
Mm-hmm.
because of maybe a surgery that happened, it affect the body in a different way
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everybody is different, you know.
Yeah.
And then the surgery happened, then you don't have the right nutrients to
Yeah.
help the body now to repair itself.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't have an individual like you, Lisa, that the person could sit and talk to. So there is so many things when you have a surgery. There is so many things comes after that surgery,
Yeah. Yeah.
and thankful that there are people like you that someone could come to and they can sit with you and say to you, Lisa, I had a surgery and this is how I'm feeling. Now you can able to work around now to understand exactly what's happening with that individual, you
Yeah.
know, and how menopause affects mental health.
Right. So that affects it in a big way because again it's hormonal fluctuations while it's decreasing as well. So you're getting it left and right. So there are estrogen receptors along every part of your body, which is why we have so many symptoms come up during menopause. Once estrogen starts to drop, you're going to have all these symptoms starting to take place, including those mental health issues. So you mentioned at the beginning the mood swings, sleepless nights, or the flip side, sleeping a lot but not getting that restful sleep. So you're
Mhm.
always waking up tired, going to bed tired. And that affects how you are the next day. Are you able to function and work? Are you able to communicate clearly to others? It affects your brain. So you get the brain fog, forgetfulness. Some women, they're giving a lecture and they can't remember simple words. And it's not, again, it's not their fault. It's because they have this medical issue going on.
Mhm.
um, Again, the anxiety, the depression, not feeling like you're in your own body. So it really is like an out of body experience where in
Mhm.
my 20s and 30s I felt normal, quote unquote normal. I was exercising, I was eating whatever, eating right. And then all of a sudden I wake up and I have all this weight and I haven't done anything different. I'm feeling very lethargic and I haven't done anything different.
Mhm.
I can't focus, and it plays a lot to your confidence. It plays a lot in intimacy and not just physical intimacy. That closeness you feel with your not just your partner, but with your children, with
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
friends. A lot of women don't want to leave the house. One, because they may be afraid to drive, where before they were driving during at night and it's fine. They get this gripping fear of leaving the house. They
Mhm.
don't want to socialize. They don't want to just be around family members. So, anniversaries, birthdays, they don't want to take part.
Mhm.
And for some people, they may say, well, okay, well, just shake it off. Just tell yourself nothing is wrong. For some
Mhm.
people, that can work. But if you're drowning in 60 symptoms at the same time and
Mhm.
you don't know which way is up, it's very hard to figure out what's going on and you need extra support. And it's not your fault, but you need extra support, whether it's through medication or the more holistic approaches that I use, because I really focus on women who choose not to use those medications. Not that I have anything against it. In fact, I
Mhm.
tell women to start there because if it's 60 symptoms, let's see if medication can help. But you
Mhm.
need to also follow it up with that support of good
Mhm.
nutrition. So that's why I wanted to sort of take the conversation, and I'm glad this slide is up. Um, so if we look at the picture on the right hand side, I try to find something that was just colorful, and to me that makes me happy. Seeing all
Mm-hmm.
those colors, that's where you get your nutrients from.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about maybe buying supplements, and a lot of women need more magnesium, more zinc, more iron, more calcium around this time, I want us to change our focus and look at these foods. These are the foods that will give you those vitamins and minerals, not just for menopause, but uh, cholesterol control, weight management, cancer prevention. When you're looking at diabetes, all diseases, this is where you want to start with nutrition. Oh, well, I guess I should talk about what my first. So my name is Lisa Feveck, and I'm a dietitian and a menopause coach. And I really look at women's health in general, but my focus is on menopause because, as I said, we don't talk about it. And you may see menomorphosis dietitian. Morphosis means transformation. And during menopause, it's really a transformation. But I want us to focus on like a butterfly. You start off with the caterpillar, lots of problems, lots of issues, but you emerge as this beautiful butterfly, carefree and able to fly around. And that's where I want women to see menopause as. That's where we should end up. So I want to go back to, and I know I talked about this on Sunday, but I want to take it from this aspect to show how being stressed out can affect us in menopause. So I want us to think of our favorite meal that we're going to have for lunch. Maybe we're at work and we have it in the fridge or a lunch bag. And as it comes closer and closer to lunch, we start thinking about it, our favorite sandwich. We know that we've made a really nice sandwich. It has great sauces. It's going to smell great. And that is important that we start there, and I'll explain why. So we microwave it, we put it in front of us, and we start smelling it. It starts to smell great. We look at it because we eat with our eyes first.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing all this loveliness. That's really important. It's not good when a lot of us we do this, myself included. We have a project to finish and we just go grab something to eat, and we're eating while we're doing work. We want to have that looking at it first, smelling it, because it tells our body we are ready to eat food. That signals the brain to send different hormones around the body to say, okay, listen, stomach, I want you to produce more acid because we're expecting food. I need the blood to go more to the intestines and redirect it from our hands, feet, and it goes more to the intestines because we're ready to receive nutrients. So oh my goodness, it shuts down other processes in the body to accept and digest this food. And it's really important. So we need to eat in a very calm manner to allow this process to happen. So we start chewing, and digestion begins in the mouth. So starch enzyme starts to be activated. And again, it's because we know food is coming. We produce more saliva so that we don't choke. We swallow, it goes into our stomach. Because we have more acid in our stomach, we start to kill bacteria and break down the food to little bits. It goes into the intestine where the food is broken down to the basic nutrients. So the protein is broken down to amino acids. We break down all the vitamins, minerals, and it's not important what it's broken down to. Just know that in the intestines, that's where the breakdown happens, and food is absorbed in the intestines.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have more blood in that area, the blood is able to take food around the body to where it needs it. So if our brain needs sugar, it will send sugar there. If our muscles need amino acids, which came from the protein to build muscle, it will send the amino acids there. So the body does its job because you've told it time to eat. I'm not going to focus on anything else. It's time to eat. So now what happens when we're stressed? And this is where the mental health aspect comes in. So we have the same meal, but we're rushing to finish a project. So we grab it. So we're not thinking about, okay, it smells going to smell good and taste good. We quickly run to the kitchen. get our food and come back and we're by our desk and we're sitting eating, or maybe we're at a construction site and we're eating while we're doing something. So our body doesn't get those signals that we're ready to eat. So we're not going to produce enough acid. We're not going to have the blood redirected to our intestines. And in fact, when we are stressed, something called cortisol is released.
Mm-hmm.
Cortisol is our fight or flight hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So that cortisol is telling us, and it doesn't know the difference between I have a project to finish or I'm being chased by an attacker. Fight or flight means blood is redirected to our brain, our hands, and our feet because it's ready to do something. Do I have to fight off somebody? Do I have to run away quickly? And it makes our brain more functional because we need to think right away. What do I have to do quickly? It's not going to figure out, oh, it's just a project I need to finish before lunchtime is over. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going to know the difference.
Right.
Right. And then if we're constantly under stress, our cortisol levels are always high. So we always thinking about the bills to pay and the children, and we always have these thoughts in our head. And then we introduce menopause, which inherently, without us doing anything, raises our anxiety, raises our depression. So we're always in a stressful state, which means we're never going to absorb proper nutrients. We're never going to break down our foods properly. And this is why women in menopause get more gas, get more diarrhea, get more constipation, always feel bloated and uncomfortable because we're always in a stressful state when we're eating. Make sense so far?
Mm-hmm. A lot of sense. keep
Right?
keep going.
So if we're not breaking down our food properly, we're not killing bacteria properly either. So we can get also a lot of infections. Then we're not absorbing food properly because we're not getting that blood flow going to our intestines or enough of it. So we get a lot of what was called malabsorption. In other words, our food is not broken down, so our intestines can't pull the nutrients out of it. So that's where a lot more stool is passed out, so we could get more constipated. And usually, if people aren't eating properly, they're not drinking enough water also. They're not getting enough exercise in. And it's a holistic thing. It's everything plays on each other. So that is why it's important that we eat in a relaxed state, that we really appreciate where our food comes from. So you talked about that gratitude journal, reminding ourselves, I'm thankful that I have something to eat, because there's people who don't. So it doesn't matter what little we have, it's something. You'll see on this slide also something called the gut-brain connection. I combine the words. The gut-brain connection.
Mm-hmm.
More and more research is coming out that our gut bacteria influences how much depression and anxiety we have. And our gut bacteria depends on the type of food we eat. So I know people may have heard of good gut bacteria and bad gut bacteria. And there are a lot of studies that show if we take bacteria from someone who is chronically depressed and put it in someone who is not, that person starts to experience depression. And vice versa. If we take bacteria from someone who is not depressed, and when I say not depressed, it's not that things aren't going wrong in their lives, it's that they're able to deal with these situations in a better way. So good mental health means you're able to deal with the problems you have faced in a positive way. We're always looking at the solution rather than the problem. And that may mean reaching out to other people. You talked about the support groups. It may mean talking to the support group, looking for a solution, but we're not bogged down by the problem. We're looking for the solution, and that's where you get good mental health. And people who have more positive attitudes experience menopausal symptoms in a different way to someone who doesn't. So these studies are clearly showing once we always have that positive outlook, and it takes work, it's not something that happens overnight. So
True.
that positive outlook, once we have that, we have hot flashes, yes, but it's not as debilitating. We have sleep issues, but we're able to fall asleep a little faster. Or if we get up during the night, we're able to fall back asleep a little quicker. We don't wake up as tired. We don't have as much pain, or we don't experience the pain as someone else who's always negative. So it's really important to practice those mindfulness, that mindfulness, and where you get good gut bacteria from. Let me just see. Okay, so where we get that good gut bacteria from is your plant-based foods. Fruits, vegetables, peas, beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and herbs and spices. Herbs and spices are extremely important, so I wanted to mention that. Of course, also getting enough water, because once you're eating more fruits and vegetables, you're getting more fiber, so you want to have more water so that you don't get constipated. But that good gut bacteria comes straight from plant-based foods. So someone who's always eating more animal-based products, so a lot more meat, cheese, dairy, and I'm not saying not to eat those foods. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But a lot of times people put meat on the plate first and then look for things to go with the meat. I am saying change your way of thinking. Put vegetables on the plate first. Put whatever peas or beans there are. Put your nuts or seeds, and seeds are really important. You get it's a lot cheaper and you get a lot of nutrition. So pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, ground flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds, great for not just protein but omega-3s, vitamins, minerals, you name it. Seeds. Seeds are the way to go. And then your whole grains. So whether you want oats or potatoes or ground provisions or brown rice or whole grain pasta or whole grain bread, sourdough bread, whatever you choose. But eating those foods first, and then, okay, if I feel for a baked chicken breast, okay, no problem. Even if I feel for a piece of fried chicken, if I start with those plant-based foods first and eat those vegetables first, then once in a while it's okay to have that piece of fried chicken because I'm giving the body the nutrients it needs to do a job. And I'm eating in a relaxed way. So when we talk about mindfulness, is one, looking at those sensory cues. How does my food look? How does my food smell? Which also means I have to meal prep in a different way. Because if I have to look at the food, I want it to look nice first. So get different colored vegetables, get different colored fruits. How do I want my potatoes? Okay, I can air fry them. So I don't have to fry them in oil. I can air fry it and get that same fried texture, but it's a little healthier. And okay, I'm looking forward to my meal now, which means I'm imagining how it's going to taste, how it's going to smell. I'm putting aside at least 30 minutes of calm time to enjoy my food. So I'm not eating while I'm rushing to do something. I want to focus on my food. Good so far? I know you have to take, do you have to take a break, the advertisement?
No, you keep going.
Okay, okay. Because once
Just
I
keep
start, I can
going,
talk about it all
Lisa.
day, right?
This is like
Right.
coaching.
Well, this is what I do, right? Right. So you want to smell the food, so it must look good, which means you need to take a little more time for that meal prep. So an easy way to meal prep, make 2 starches. And a lot of times we have more time on the weekend. So use that time. Even if we're feeling tired, just remember, we're setting up good nutrition for the week. Use our family. If our kids are old enough, let them help. Because if you involve the children in the cooking process, they're more likely to eat the food they make. Involve your husband. Let him maybe wash the lettuce for you or prep the vegetables, chop stuff up. Let it be a family affair. Um, Also, mindful eating practices is being relaxed. So it's also practicing maybe yoga, deep breathing, So a lot of times, even if I'm finishing up something, I recognize that my brain is racing and I'm eating too fast. I stop and I take some deep breaths. So I may be eating without work, but my mind is always racing, thinking about stuff. Take a minute, stop everything, take a deep breath in through the nose and fill your stomach. Let that balloon in your stomach fill up so that your stomach almost extends out of its body. Hold that breath for a couple of seconds and then slowly release. So you may, a good rule is breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, and breathe out for 7 seconds. So your breath out is slower. And you do that maybe for 5 times, and you'll realize all of a sudden that anxiety, you actually feel your body doing, ah, I'm calm again. So then I start back eating. And okay, those thoughts may come back again. So I stop, take a couple more deep breaths, and then I start again. Because I want my body to recognize that I'm eating so that the blood flow is sent where it needs to go, so that my stomach produces that acid that I need. Also, just like enjoy your food. A lot of times people just rush through the food process because it's something to eat. Okay, they need to eat because I'm hungry. But what about the flavors? Maybe you made a good curry. Am I tasting the spices? How does it look? Do I see flecks of the vegetables floating in my soup? Where did the food come from? I'm thankful that I live in a country, and for a lot of us in the Caribbean, we're very blessed that we have farmers who are able to give us fresh fruits and vegetables. So be thankful for that. Okay, I live in a very busy town where, okay, I'm not near farmers, I live in the city. But I have access to the corner shop that will give me apples and lettuce when I need it. I am thankful for that. Because somewhere in the world, there's someone that doesn't have that. So just being thankful for the little things could calm ourselves down to really appreciate and then digest your food properly. Remembering to chew slowly and properly so that our stomach is able to break down the food properly. A lot of times when patients come to me and they have gas and bloating, they're chewing way too quickly.
Yes.
And it's because they're accustomed eating while doing something else. But when I get them to put away everything else, and even the phone, put it away the phone for just 10 minutes and just focus on that food. The messages will still be there. TikTok
True.
will still be there. The videos
True.
will still be there. It's not going anywhere. Take 10 minutes just to calm yourself down and chew slowly with intention. I'm eating
Right.
because this is going to nourish me, and my menopausal symptoms will become less the more I do this the right way. So always think, what is my end goal? And for us in menopause, it's really important. Remember, it's over 100 symptoms, right? I don't want to be saddled with all of these symptoms and experience it in a negative way. Okay, I have really bad hot flashes. I'm going to eat cooling food, so lots of fruits and vegetables, and I'm going to eat it in a calm way. Maybe, okay, I have my morning coffee at 10 o'clock, and I don't advise having coffee first thing when you wake up because cortisol levels are high when you wake up in the morning. So maybe start with a cup of herbal tea and then move your coffee to 10 o'clock. So take your coffee to the to outside on the if you're in an office, take it outside, look outside, look at the cars pass, look at the people, and enjoy your coffee. That brings calmness to the body, and you're not in always a cortisol state where I'm always stressed. And this mindful nutrition is just eating in a calm state so that it translates to every part of our lives. So emotional well-being, I'm able, if I eat better and I absorb nutrients better, and I'm grateful for where that food comes from, then I'm grateful for my partner. It translates to other parts of our lives. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful to have a job. I may not like all my coworkers all the time, but I'm grateful for to have them because they make life interesting. Always putting a positive spin on even the
Right.
darkest of situations,
Right.
it translates to how we experience the menopause. And it takes practice because again, if I'm dripping with those hot flashes and I'm embarrassed to be at work, put up and it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but talk to a friend. Listen, I'm really experiencing these hot flashes right now. Could you just cover for me for 5 minutes while I run to the washroom and get myself together and come back?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe get a group of women at work together and say, listen, talk to your supervisor. Listen, we're all around 40s, 50s, we're going to start experiencing menopause. Could you start installing more fans in the room
Right.
so that, and I know it's coming to your boss with these big plans. Oh, okay, we're all experiencing menopause and you have to do something. You're not going to get the best effects or the best results you're looking for. But doing everything in a calm manner, bring the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, when we're eating lunch, we need half an hour to have good
Mm-hmm.
nutrients so that we don't have constipation or diarrhea or those negative medical issues where I will have to take time off from work to go see about it. If you allow us half an hour of calmness where we don't have to answer the phone or answer an email, and you give us that half an hour, we are able to do our work better.
Mm-hmm.
Always translate it back to dollars and cents. That's where you're gonna get your boss to be like, okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna get more productivity out of this person if I just give them half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But again, it goes back to good communication,
Sure.
coming together with your support group. And also if you're not sure where to start, contacting someone like myself to give you those ideas of where can I start with the conversation with coworkers, what questions to ask my doctor, how do I communicate with my partner. That's everything because it all goes back to your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So just to wrap up, because I know it's coming close to 8 o'clock, the key takeaways I want people to go with. Mindful, when we say mindful nutrition, we're looking at not just the physical, but the mental and emotional. Start with the physical. Okay, how does my food look? Can I improve how it looks so that I really enjoy my meal? Go online with your kids. Look for different recipes from different cultures. Because, and I'm not looking at expensive things or things out of my comfort zone, but let's try one new thing and let's really enjoy what we're making. Having that healthy relationship with food. This food is going to nourish my body. So I want to just take my time to appreciate that I have food, that it's going to help me with my menopause. And it's not just going to help me, but everyone around me. Because if I am doing better and I am in a calm state and I am happier, then my husband will be happier, my children will be happier, my co-workers will be happier, which
Mm-hmm.
in turn feeds back to me and makes me happy.
True. True.
Right? So it's not just going out, it's coming back in. Right? So I just want to remind your listeners, whether live or on the replay, that menopause is a natural transition. We will all go through menopause once God spares life. We'll all go through it. But how you experience it, a lot of times is up to you. Talk to your doctor. Talk to someone like me, a menopause coach, who can help guide you if you really need that support. Is not a problem. And as I said that, I have this free gift that I give to all, once I do these talks, I want to give back something. A lot of women complain about sleep, and I think it's a good place to start. If you can work on your sleep, it affects every part of your life. You wake up better, you experience those menopausal symptoms in a lot, not as a negative, in a negative way. So you could just take your phone and focus on the QR code or type in the URL you see there. And in that ebook, you will find my contact information. So if after reading the ebook you decide, okay, I need more support or I have a question or maybe I'm looking for a support group, whatever it is, I am open for a conversation. Because for me, it hurts me when I see women considering suicide because of something that
Yes.
happens to us naturally.
Hmm.
That for me, it doesn't compute. And I want to do as much as I can to prevent one woman from going down that road.
Yes.
That is my purpose in life.
Wow.
I know it's a lot. I know but I hope that it wasn't too much information, but that
No,
the audience got something from it.
Lisa, you know, the one thing that I really like what you really do is that you break things down into bite size
Mm.
that you can really
Mm.
help an individual to understand how can I help myself
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this process.
That's always how can I help myself? Because my health is my business. It's not the doctor. It's not even
Exactly.
your husband. It's my business, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Lisa.
yeah,
And you break it down into these small bite size to help an individual to understand, you know what? When I am going through menopause, these are the things I have to do for myself
yeah,
so I can help myself. And
yeah.
when I help myself, I'm helping the people around me also
Definitely, definitely.
because it starts with me, you
Hmm.
know, and you help us, excuse me, to understand that aspect of menopause.
Hmm.
Very simple, layman's term, a small teenager could understand exactly what you're saying,
Okay,
you know.
good.
So it's a beautiful thing when we can come and we can really help someone to understand a process of something
Yeah,
and the steps we need to take in order, because it's just not saying, oh, it's menopause. It's a lot of
yeah, yeah.
components to make up
Exactly.
to get this smooth transition happening. So it's the
Mm.
menopause, and there's a lot of stuff falling under
A,
menopause.
a lot, a lot.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, you know. I like how you touched on flight or fight, the
Hmm.
stress aspect. I
Yeah.
like how you talk about we don't drink enough water.
Hmm.
I really like when you talk about eat and eat in a relaxed state, because many times we're on the go, we pick up things and
Yeah.
we just eating, and we're not paying attention how the body is really receiving what we're
Yes.
eating, you know, because
Yeah.
if we can sit in a relaxed state, there's so many things can happen in the body in that relaxed state.
Yeah.
The food is being distributed correctly in the body
Hmm.
to help the body with the process of menopause or whatever situation.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's not just menopause. It's right
Exactly.
across. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So whatever we're going through, if we can only pay attention to our eating
Hmm.
in that relaxed manner, the
Yeah.
food can able to help an individual, whatever you're going
Hmm.
through. Because many times people would say, you know what, I'm eating this and I'm eating that, but I'm not seeing no results.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
I'm eating vegetables and it's making me constipated. And it's because you're eating in a rush manner. Or I would say if you're custom eating a lot of animal products and you're trying to switch to more plant-based,
Mhm.
maybe not start with raw, cook it first and then transition. So there are ways to do it. But don't
Absolutely.
just give up and say this is not working for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 And you talk about gratitude, you know, when we have something to eat, we need to be thankful
Yeah. Yeah.
for what we are eating, because as you rightfully said, there are many people around the world don't have a meal, you know.
Yeah.
You talk about the gut brain axis. That is a super point, because
Yeah.
many times we don't understand what we are consuming is affecting our brain. So
Yep.
we got to pay attention to what we're putting in that gut. That microbiome is super important,
Yep. Hmm.
because whatever you're putting in there, that is how your body is going to function. It starts from
Yes.
in that gut. So we got to pay attention to that gut, what we're consuming. We got to eat in a relaxed state. We got to be mindful of everything
Yeah.
that we are doing. I like when you said get the family involved, get the husband involved, get the children involved, get them in
Yeah,
the kitchen,
definitely.
get to cut up vegetables. That's such a great idea, and it becomes a family affair, as you say. So,
Yeah, yeah.
oh my, you give some great pointers here this evening, Lisa. You talk about the plant-based food, you talk about the change the way of thinking about your plate, put your seeds first, your whole grain, cook with your spices, and then you could think about a
Yeah.
piece of meat. So we need to change things up if we want to see and to live a healthier life. We got to
Yeah,
change
yeah.
with the plate. The plate is what we got to change with. You
Yep,
talk about
definitely.
mindful eating, family affair, the breeding. Oh my God, that's a biggie. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's the breeding. And I like when you said, if you're eating and you're feeling stressed, you're feeling tense, you can stop and you can do
Yep.
some deep breathing. And
Yep.
once you can do
Mm,
that deep breathing, you could calm yourself down from that
yeah.
stressful
Yeah, you
anxieties.
actually feel it. You actually feel it. Yeah.
Exactly. You feel the drop.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel that.
That's how it feels. It feels like your body's doing that.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You feel that drop. So
Yeah.
it is so many things that we can do. So this evening wasn't only on menopause, it was an whole body experience you're speaking about. What we
Yeah.
can do to help ourselves on a nutritional level, what we can do to help ourselves. I like when you talk about the benefits of the mindful nutrition, emotional well-being, physical well-being, and mental well-being.
Yeah.
So you have really touched on each subject pertaining to nutrition, how we
Okay.
should eat, pay
Yeah.
attention to what we're eating, make sure your plate is colorful, focus on your
Yeah.
seeds,
Yeah.
your what the colorful is the polyphenols.
Yeah.
You
The
gotta
colorful is
focus on
everything. Yeah.
exactly. Make sure you smell the spices.
Mm, yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. You served us well this evening, and
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy.
I
Yeah.
know,
This
and
is
you put an icing on the cake because you know what you did. You gave us a free guide to better sleep during
yeah. Yeah.
menopause. So, to the audience out there, if you're gonna listen to the replay, you have a free guide to better sleep during menopause. There's a
Yeah.
QR code. Just scan the QR code with your phone, and you're going to able to get the free guide. And you also have Lisa, all of Lisa's information is going to be in that free guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reach out to her, have a talk with her. Whatever you're experiencing, she can able to walk you through.
Yeah. Yep.
She can walk you through and help you as an individual to understand exactly what's happening with you. She will able to educate you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
help you to understand more about nutrition, more about menopause. She normally coach family, like a husband and a wife and the
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
can coach a
Whoever
family
needs
to
it.
bring
Yeah.
you together, help you to understand the process, what you're experiencing. So Lisa,
Yeah.
thank you so much for what you do. You know, you're helping a lot of women around the world and helping them to understand more about themselves. You're helping a lot of families to understand more about menopause and nutrition because we all need that in our life.
Well,
You
thank
know,
you for having me on this platform as well. I am grateful for all the work you all do. I look at you all every Sunday, and it's really amazing speakers that you all bring on different topics. So thank you for having me, and thank you to your audience.
thank you so much, Lisa, for taking the time and sitting with us this evening on Soul Light and Body. And to the audience, thank you so much for your comments, your questions, and reach out to Lisa, have a talk with her. Make a consultation, reach out to her and have a talk with her because you're going to learn much more from her also. And don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body that you will never miss none of these
Yeah.
episodes. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful rest of the week. We got another beautiful topic on Sunday on enrichment of mind, body, and soul. It's hope for a lot of things.
Okay.
So make sure you join us, make sure you
Yeah.
subscribe. If you're new, welcome, a special welcome to you, and continue to know that you're good enough, you're special, You're one of a kind, and you can sit with yourself and work through whatever you're going through. If not, reach out and grab yourself a coach.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Take care. Bye.